Okay, so first of all, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is David Nunez. I am director of Mexico Conservación. We're a non-profit environmental organization based on the Mexican Caribbean coast.
And can you tell us how would you describe the Mexican attitude to the environment?
That's a rough question. Chaotic is the first word that comes to mind. There are obviously people that are very interested in protecting the incredible diversity and beauty of Mexico's natural resources. But if you look at the prevalent public attitude, it seems to be one of complete disregard. Traveling through Mexico, one of the first things that foreigners are struck by is how dirty a lot of the towns are, how dirty rivers are, how dirty beaches are. If you go down to the Biosphere Reserve down here, which is a UNESCO Biosphere Reserve, you would think that it is a beautiful, incredible spot, and it is. But if you go to the beach, you will find it is actually one of the dirtiest beaches you've ever been to. And that is because nobody cleans it up. If you go to the beaches along the hotels, we have people sweeping up every single day, and that's what keeps it nice. But you go down to the reserve, it's filthy. You have to spend 15 minutes just clearing off the space for you to lie down. So, unfortunately, as you know, we have a long way to go before being conscious of not only our impact on our surroundings, but in simply appreciating what it is that we have. A lot of people don't even value all the stuff that we have here. We have people that are born here, live here their whole lives, and have never seen the reef, have never been to a cenote. We have people from all over the world saving money all year round to come and spend a week to get to know these things, and the people that live here don't know about them. So that's our job as an environmental education, to educate everybody, as I said, on both things, the value of what we have and on how to protect it. And,
so what are your biggest challenges here in terms of the environment?
Biggest challenges, ignorance, obviously, the first. Unfortunately, also corruption is a huge problem in Mexico. I would say those two are the greatest. Combined, and the problem with corruption is combined with the political structure in Mexico. In other parts of the world, no matter how small the town, you have a town government. You have a town council that can pass its own ordinances, collect local taxes, take care of its commons. In Mexico, you don't have that. In Mexico, everything is done at the municipal level. And so you have a number of little towns that cannot protect their own resources. They have to go to the municipal head, who of course is busy doing other things. So right now, we're an interesting case right here in Tulum, is actually going through the process of becoming its own mini municipality and separating from Playa del Carmen for Solidaridad. Why? Because Playa del Carmen is the fastest growing city in Latin America. It has its hands full. It cannot deal with what is going on in Tulum. So Tulum feels the necessity to break away and form its own municipality. So it's that combination of lack of empowerment at the local level, corruption, and ignorance is the trifecta.
And what are the biggest environmental issues here in terms of, you know, problems?
Okay. Water quality would be the greatest, I think. The area is going through a huge population explosion. 30 years ago, there was nothing here. Everything that you see on this coast is new. 30 years ago, there were maybe 50,000 to 100,000 people in the whole state of Quintana Roo. That's from Chetumal down to Cancun. Obviously now we have cities that are growing like mad with very little, if any, planning. We have good legal tools for environmental zoning and development plans. Unfortunately, they're completely ignored. Corruption plays a role in that. And one of the big problems that we have is simply waste management. Wastewater, most people simply, in the best of cases, have a septic tank, if anything, which is completely inappropriate for this area because of first of all, it's a coastal zone. Second of all, it has karst topography. So anything from the septic tank is going to leach directly into the water. That's both wastewater and solid waste. Solid waste here is still mostly open air dumps. They're starting to try to push for proper landfills, but it's going to be a long time before we get that. And we have a lot of illegal dumps. If you go out into the jungle, you'll probably run into them. A lot of the people that pick up trash will simply dive out into the jungle and dump it into a cenote.
Okay.
So that would be the biggest issue. Obviously, combined with the problem of population growth and lack of planning and all the other stuff that goes around it. But I think the focal point where it is explosive is water quality, because it affects human health, it affects obviously the health of the reef, the fishes, everything else that's out there, and it affects the economy. As the reef dies, tourism is going to die. As the waters get polluted, tourists are going to get sick. So I would say that the water quality is definitely the big issue.
And is tourism having an effect on the environment?
Absolutely. A lot of it is indirect. For example, the big hotels are required to have their own water treatment. So they don't pollute as much as, say, just the houses they have down here. But the problem is with all the people that the hotel employs. If you have, 3 or 4 employees for each guest, you have huge towns going up that don't have a water treatment plant. So it's great that the hotels are required to have a treatment plant for the hotel, but when the government isn't doing anything to treat the water that is being polluted by the hotel workers in the towns, that's an indirect impact of tourism. And also there's the direct impact of tourism. Hotels that are being built on mangrove, hotels that are being built too close to the water's edge, tourists that trample on the reef, break pieces off for souvenirs, all that sort of thing obviously also has an impact.
Great. Perfect.